Aloe vera. I love aloe vera. I have tons of aloe vera in my kitchen right now. Aloe vera is as healing on the inside as it is on the outside. How can you eat aloe vera? You never eat the prickly sides. You have to cut that off because it's like eating the little head of a pin if you don't. So you definitely want to be cutting that off. If you're going to blend aloe vera into an energy soup or into a medicinal green soup, you would, again, cut the sides off, but you can blend the green part. It's, what protects the plant protects us. Sometimes at our house, we cut the green off and we just eat the inner goo. It kind of looks like Jell-O. I have 3 kids, so we call it dragon boogers. And they eat it because we go, "Ew, that's disgusting," and they eat it. But again, it's as medicinal on the outside as it is on the inside. It's one of the few plants that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Marine phytoplankton is another one I use when I'm working with clients who have got brain challenges. Aloe vera. Again, it's very healing for the gut, very healing for the brain. Same with the marine phytoplankton. It's considered an amazing miracle food. You can buy it in the bottle, and there are some with straight up aloe vera. It tends to be, some people taste it and they say, "Ooh, it tastes so bitter." This is a little bit less bitter, I think, when I eat the real aloe plant. It can soak right through the skin into the bloodstream. So if you've got something that's close to the skin, a wound or something that you're working on, when you scrape the green part off, put that right onto your wound. Put it right into your bra. And you can do the same thing, by the way, with the wheatgrass pulp. You can use it as a poultice. Get it damp with the wheatgrass. Put it right into your bra. It's going to help draw toxins through the skin. It's very therapeutic, can be for skin cancers, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, effective on pimples and wrinkles, bitter because of the sulfur. Sea vegetables, another one of my favorite biggies. Absolutely critical when it comes to protecting the thyroid. Okay, it's one of the few places in the modern diet that we can get iodine. It's very rich in minerals. It's one of nature's most nutritious foods. It's got beta-carotene, enzymes, amino acids, fiber. It's great for bringing oxygen to the tissues. We've heard that talked about today. It's great for calcium, phosphorus. It's got calcium, phosphorus, potassium, iodine, and other trace minerals, vitamins A, B, C, E, B12. It can be a better source of protein than milk, and it is, again, a non-animal source of B12. Want iron? Seaweed. Want iodine? Seaweed. Want some protein? Seaweed. Want your hair to grow like crazy? Seaweed. Radiation poisoning? Seaweed. Okay, when they had the Fukushima going on, all the radiation coming over from Japan. A lot of the doctors that I work with have West Coast patients, and they couldn't get their hands on any iodine during that period of time. It was completely sold out. Seaweed. Seaweed will also bind with heavy metals, help remove them from the body, as will chlorella. Chlorella, an algae. Again, the sea vegetables, powerful healers. They're anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antifungal, anti-cancer. They are very close to human blood plasma. They promote internal balance, and they contain the same essential nutrients as our own bodies. These are what I call juice enhancers. So people will say to me, "Well, I'm traveling, can I do this?" When for example, I had a client traveling to the Middle East. Yes, we packed his suitcase with this. Does it take the place of green juice? No, absolutely not. Nothing takes the place of green juice. This is what I call enhancers, things that you're going to add to your green juice. So you've got barley grass, a powerful, powerful detoxifier. We've got the wheatgrass. Now, I know when it comes, barley grass I do get dried, but when it comes to the wheatgrass, when you're getting dried or frozen, it's going to take you an entire year of consuming what you will get in 1 week of fresh wheatgrass. So you want to be taking in fresh wheatgrass. And you can get a little wheatgrass attachment that is a hand crank. You can get a juice machine that also has a wheatgrass attachment. But you do want to be juicing fresh wheatgrass on a daily basis. So we've got wheatgrass, chlorella, spirulina, green powders, cayenne pepper, curcumin, turmeric. All of these things are big anti-inflammatories. We keep a little Lazy Susan right in the middle of our table with all of these things on it, so we can just shake a little bit on there. Hemp seeds are there as well. Hemp oil, I get my hemp oil in from Canada. When and how much should we be consuming of these? Whoops, we're going to go back to one. Okay. The best time to consume this is on an empty stomach in the morning. I would recommend 1 or 2 ounces of wheatgrass first thing in the morning and last thing that you do before you go to bed at night. Be drinking your your green juice throughout the day. So you want to have at least 1 to 2 quarts of green juice a day. If you were to go to the Gerson Institute in Tijuana, Mexico, they would have you drinking 1 glass of fresh juice every single hour of the day. And if you feel too full to consume it, they'll say, no problem, we'll implant it. Okay. If you were to go to the Gerson Institute in Mexico, they would have you doing the rebounder 3 times a day for 3 minutes, even if you're in a coma. Somebody else will jump for you. That's how important lymphatic drainage is. And Ayurvedic medicine understands this. They understand lymphatic massage. They understand lymphatic drainage. They understand rebounding. Chi machines. What about organics? Okay, do I have a slide on the levels? Yes. So we have the 5 levels of food. We've got our conventional food, right, which is just a pretty word for poison. We've got organic food, which means they skip the poison. We've got our farmers markets and our CSAs, because the longer it has to be on that truck and travel from Argentina, Honduras, and Peru, the less nutrient that it has when it arrives on your plate, which is much better, why it's much better to pluck it from your own garden or to try to get it locally. Then we've got biodynamic farms, which are these amazing organic farmers giving back to the earth. Okay? Oh, and then wild foods. So check out this. If this could be a dandelion. But wild foods are so incredible. If this were a dandelion, it might have to, in the crack of a sidewalk, have those roots go as deep as 150 feet into the ground to pull out the nutrients, the minerals, and the water that it needs. So wild foods are the most ridiculously healthy thing that you can put in your body. So I challenge you, if you aren't familiar with going into the forest and knowing what you can eat, into your own yard, plucking your own dandelions, your own plantains, your other wild edibles, to get a guide and figure it out. The levels of raw, we're going to go through this just really quickly. At the Raw Food Institute, we've got it divided into 4 levels. At the bottom, we've got recreational raw, so you've got sweet treats like honey, agave nectar, figs, and dates. Sensible raw would mean you've improperly combined your foods, you've added vegetables and fruits together in a smoothie or a salad. It's still sensible. At the Raw Food Institute, we stay up here in superior raw, which means your dark leafy greens, and medicinal raw. And that's going to be your grasses, your living foods, and your foods high on the ORAC scale, or your superfoods, in other words. So you've got things like goji and noni and some of these things that are very, very high. Chlorella, spirulina. Your kitchen is your pharmacy. Keep these things, your legumes out in jars, label them. It's all about the results. There's nothing that I like better than getting those phone calls. My doctor can't figure out what's going on. And I'm going, woohoo! I want you to think about what is the biggest thing that you're leaving this talk with today. And what your action steps are going to be, because we can come here, gather all this information, but we have to go home and start wrapping it into our lives. My husband's a pilot, and he came to a talk of mine recently, and I said, honey, if you're going to fly everybody in this room to France tonight, to Paris, and we got off by 3 degrees, meaning all you did is eat a salad a day, keeps the doctor away, right? You changed just one thing. Are we going to end up in Paris just by moving 3 degrees? No, we're not. He figured we'd probably end up in Morocco. So you can completely change the outcome of your entire life by starting to make these changes.